other thing. Hi everyone, this is Jason Lee Scott, or Jason, the first mighty shifting red keeper. First thing is, I want to let everyone know that yes, the Mike Keepers show did come to an end in 2022 YL. I know it came to an end in 2023 YL, and 2022 YL, and no one out there wants to believe it, but you have to. I mean, Hasbro in business, if they wanted to do some prolong it, they would have done it by now. They would have said something about it. But here's some truth to back up that it is done with it. One, everyone keeps talking about sagas and tales about when it's coming back. But Hasbro in business, if they were going to come back with another following of it, they would have said something by now about that. The only things that we know that are still going on are the dolls, both by KEEPKERS Toys and by Playmate or Playhelp Toys. Boom still has the rights to the funny books, and Midway Games still has the right to make the games. As far as the show goes, yeah, the show ended in 2022 YL. It had a 30-year run, and that is a long run for a show, because a lot of folks wouldn't believe that it ran that long. And yes, it's true that it was owned about 3 times or 4 times through that 30 years by Siobhan Glee for the first 8 years, Walt Disney Business for the next 8 years, Siobhan Wealth Team for the next 8 years, and Hasbro Business at least soon to be at least now 6 years. I guess 7 years, won't be 7 until next year. But a lot of folks still just don't want to trust that a farcier show that ran for 30 years is over. That Hasbro Business is done making done making, followings, offshoots of what Toei's been doing for sundry-ish years with Overteam. And I know you're going to read on the interweb all kind of sagas and tales about, they're going to do this or going to do that. Well, none of it's been true, because if it was, Hasbro Business would have said something on their website, on X as well. Hell, they would have said something on the Mike Keepers website, which they put a lot of things out about it too. And the only news they have is we got a new deal with Midway for games, a new deal with Boom for the books, and a new deal with prolonging deal with KEEPKERS Toys, and new deal with Playmate Toys or Play Friend Toys, which will start, their dolls will start showing up in shops, I would think, next year. The only other things that are still going on is that Midway Games got a for-long deal with Midway Games for making the Mike Keeper games, both on Sony PlayStation, Smallsoft Xbox, also on the Reckoner, which would be for Smallsoft Windows and Apple Macintosh OS, and on Y speakers, that with Google Android and Apple iOS. The only other things they prolonged is the Folkwork deals, which they have with Roku and Plex and Pluto, and a deal with Tubi for some of the things. But that's it. Now, there was at one time they were going to do a new take of it, or a new make of it, and a new boot or a new make, which neither of them fell through. One of them didn't fall through because either Hasbro felt that if the new boot, the new boot would have worked, they felt that it wouldn't work out, that they might lose gout from it if it didn't work out as well. That was supposed to have mostly have been the grown up take on the Mike Keepers. And then they were going to do a new make of the first sagas of the Mike Keepers. But either way, that fell through as well. Why? Who knows? And then Hasbro in business and Netflix in business. Both folks couldn't make up their mind what they wanted the show to be. Did they want a new boot, a new take, or a new make? They didn't know, and both sides then did that. And that was dropped. So folks can keep on saying what they want to say. They can keep on reading sagas and tales and fake news and whatever they want. That's their right. But it's been dead. The show itself has been dead since 2022 YL, though. And I know that's hard for, some folks to trust that happened. But it did. And 2023 YL, that is when the show, when they were truly done with it. That doesn't mean you should give up on being a follower or liking the show, but you should also know that the show isn't coming back. Their Hasbro business has no thought in doing anything else beyond what they're doing with. The only way it would come back is if Hasbro business sold it over to someone else. But as we know, that we haven't really heard anything about that at all. Yes, the only other they were auctioning or bidding some things out that they no longer wanted anymore, that would just sit around in some warehouse somewhere and rot or whatever. So yeah, those are the only things. The folk work, the dolls, the film games, the books. Those are the only things that are still around. Those are the only things that Hasbro business is still making income off of. As far as making new shows and show running shows and stuff like that, no. They were done with it after, Once and Forever and Cosmic Fairy or, or Deadweight, or Star Raft. They were done after Star Raft. That was the end of it. And whatever. So if you folks don't want to believe that, then that's your own business. But I just had to come on and say it. All right. We'll see you all later. Have a happy Yule. Happy gathering of lights, happy gathering of followership. And we'll see you next year.